んにちは。aps アカデミー講師の上村紅巴です。音読こそ英語の基本ということで、英語学習をしている皆さんにこの動画を通して音読のお手伝いをさせていただきます。英語を英語の語順のまま理解する、いわゆる直読直解ができるようになることを目指します。これが英語学習の出発点です。1回目はパラグラフごとに一旦停止して下の日本語訳で内容を確認してから音読に参加してください。それでは早速音読を始めます。文通相手マーガレットの真実。 It began when I was a 16-year-old high school student. I was reading a popular youth magazine when I noticed a list of addresses of young people from all over the world who were seeking pen pals in Japan. I had often seen boys and girls in my class receiving fat airmail envelopes from overseas. Having a pen pal was the fashion of the day. Why shouldn't I get one too? So I picked Margaret K. in Boston, and remembering that a girl from my class had once told me young ladies like to read letters on pink paper, I went out to buy some. Dear pen pal, I began, but then I stopped. I was very nervous and really didn't know how to continue or what to say. After much effort, I finished the letter, though it didn't even fill one page. The reply from faraway America came sooner than I had expected. I was surprised to receive your letter, Margaret wrote. I don't know how my address got into a magazine in Japan, because I have never asked for a pen pal. But it's so nice hearing from someone in such a fascinating country, and I look forward to corresponding with you. I don't know how many times I read that letter. When writing to Margaret, I took care not to say anything that might upset her. While English came naturally to Margaret, for me, it was a foreign language, so I wrote only about everyday matters. But somewhere in my heart, there was a sense of romance which I dared not express. For her part, though Margaret wrote long letters, she revealed little about herself. Big envelopes containing books, magazines, and other small gifts. I felt that our pen friendship was a great success. However, there was one thing I couldn't get out of my mind. I knew it would be impolite to ask a girl her age, but thought it would be all right to ask her to send a picture. So I wrote the request, and at last came the reply. Margaret said simply that she had no suitable picture of herself at that time, but that she would send me one someday. She added that the average American girl was much nicer looking than she was. Years went by. Our letters became less frequent, but we never lost touch. Meanwhile, I graduated from college, got a job, married, and had children. I still hope that I might be able to meet Margaret someday, and that my family might also meet her. Then, one day, I received a large airmail envelope addressed in unfamiliar handwriting. It contained a few magazines and a note from a lady named Alice. I'm very sorry to inform you, the note said, that Margaret died in an accident last month while she was driving home from church. We had been close friends for the past 60 years, ever since we were in high school together. Margaret often mentioned how happy she was to hear from you. Though she lived alone, she had many friends and always tried to help others, both far and near. There was also a photograph enclosed. Margaret had asked her friends to send it only in the case of her death. The face in the picture was one of great beauty and kindness. It was a face I would have loved even when I was still young and she was already quite old. どうだったでしょうか。 最初はゆっくりと読むこと、そして一つの長文を最低5回は読むようにしてください。以上、aps アカデミー上村紅友の音読動画でした。次回をお楽しみに。